All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So, looking at arguably two of the hottest stocks the last week, if not longer, especially with the second one, right? But looking at NVOS and TTOO on this video. Okay, so I wanted to start with NVOS because really there's a general comment I make across all stocks. All right, and it is that I don't look at headlines. I don't read the earnings drops and stuff like that. What I do is I let the colorful lines kind of let me know what's real and what's just kind of here and there. Okay, and look, this was a really big pop, and I'll tell you, I did not catch it at all on Tuesday. Okay, there was some crazy after hours stuff that brought us here, and I made the video on Wednesday, the last time I talked about NVOS. Okay, one of the real things I highlighted was, look, this is not a good green day. Like this Wednesday, you can see it when I click here, was a 56% gain, all right? Because yeah, we go from down here, oops, don't click the line. We go from down here all the way up here, right? Like obviously, that's the big 56% you see right there up near the top left over that 50 average line number, all right? That said, look, when you open up here at 22 and then you drop to 20, you just lost 10%. And then you keep dropping even more all the way to 18. More people in this lost 20% than they did gain that 50% up. All right. And that's why I said, look, I don't believe this is a good day. And I actually thought it was going to fall down. All right. So Thursday ends up falling down. And I'll be honest, I got a little lucky and I believe I caught it somewhere in the 14s. All right. My thought was this. I thought it would be really hard to lose these two lines. All right. I thought we would come here and then hopefully bounce up on Friday. All right, so I dipped my toes. I didn't make a big buy. I really didn't, because end of the day, I needed to break the 200 so it can fly. And just looking at the stock, this 200 has been like an impossibility for most of its life, right? Like basically well under it. This seems like really shady trading. Like you can see these random just nothings. Like there's the I didn't actually like there was a reverse there was a reverse there. Like this is some shady times right here. Well under it, a little bit over it, well on, this stock doesn't know how to break the 5 moving averages. All right, so again, to me, I thought this was a fake. Hopefully we bounce on 2 and go up. Friday sucked. There's nothing else I could say except Friday sucked. To me, it sucked a little less because, hey, obviously I didn't get up here. For someone that actually got it on this day, hey, they still don't care. And there's a bunch of those people in our Discord. NVOS, I can just do a quick search. I mean, we've been talking about NVOS a lot in the Discord, all right? There are people that got in at 9s. There are people like me that are in the middle teens and kind of in between, right? So, NVOS has been a hot one, but look, I often say the day after the doji is very telling, and that's a bad day after the doji. So I am a little scared. I'm not going to pretend I'm not. Again, the one thing I said was all I'm doing here is dipping my toes. If it does well, hell yeah, I'll add more and we'll run, right? If it does bad, hey, I can afford it to go bad because it's not a lot, right? But more than anything, it just can't lose these 2 lines. And I was saying it a little bit louder on Twitter than I normally do, but yeah, I basically said, look, if you can hold 13 on Friday, I'll hold into the weekend. Because again, if you're over these 2 lines, like I expected it to stay, what can I do? I can't sell, right? So again, you make a plan and you follow it. I think that's the biggest takeaway here. I was wrong. For sure I was wrong. Hey, I'm glad I wasn't this wrong and got up. No offense to anyone if they were, right? But look, I think just taking a step away from the moving averages, I do think the news is actually good news. I think it seems like a strong partnership. And I think more than anything, NVOS by itself, like I said, isn't I don't want to say isn't a good stock. That's just mean to say, but NVOS by itself doesn't really know how to beat the moving averages. It's coming off basic. Look at how shady. Let me just zoom in just so that we can see it. That is the shadiest daily chart you can imagine. All right, I'm gonna just click on this day. The volume was 100 shares. You see volume 100? That's embarrassing. All right, like this was a shady stock not that long ago. This continues to be a stock under moving averages, but with this partnership, hey, maybe it becomes NVOS plus someone else. And maybe that partnership's enough to make me believe we'll break. Again, I'm holding. I'm ready to be wrong. If we're wrong, if I'm wrong, we're coming down to here. If we lose these two, I think it'll be a quick run down to here. You know what I mean? And look at that. That's basically 11 cents. It only is 2 pennies, but 2 pennies is a double-digit loss. You know what I mean? So just make a plan and stick to it. I probably will get really scared if we lose 13 and start hitting 12. But again, I try not to make inter-day decisions unless things look really, really scary. But MACD is actually not that bad, all right? RSI actually isn't that bad because it's a 56. And in my head, there's a lot of room to go up. And, you know, volume, baby. We just need volume, all right? What's the money line? The money line's 16, all right? And again, I keep saying it. If you are able to like give it a little taller, like 17 is an even healthier number. And actually, that's where I'll set an alert. I think I would add more in 17 range because again, oh man, there's just a lot. Like I can't lower. I need that line there, but where are you? You're 18. You're 18. And then what are you? You're 23. And that's actually basically the top of that. I think these are worth drawing. I hope it's not like yeah, that's not bad because that's roughly 50% of that candle. Again, I'm not looking for my lines to be perfect, right? Good enough will make you a lot of money. But so this is essentially what we're looking for, what I'm looking for. I want to hold these 2 lines and bounce up. I need to break the 200, and then basically I'm watching 200 to 17, 17 to 23, 23 to 29. I do believe it will be really hard to break 29, okay? Do not have gap filled. Believe me, I know that there's a line that needs to be drawn there. I am not drawing the line because we're at 13 cents. Please don't have dollar dreams because if we only go from 13 to 23, that's going to seem like not enough when it's $1 that you're looking for, but that's literally more than a 50% move. You know what I mean? So just slow and steady, and remember, 2 little insignificant pennies is a monster double-digit day, okay? And if you actually think 12% is not monster, you're kidding yourself, all right? Because trust me, that added up every day, especially the wrong red way, oh my God, that's game over quicker than you'd like it to be, all right? So NVOS, I think the daily chart's way more important than the weekly, but where are we on the weekly? Look, we have been well below the 8 and the 20 for a good while, all right? The 8 and 20 moving average. This week we broke it, all right? I don't care about a single week. And if you're going to do this, I need monster. I need to close no lower than 15 by Friday, all right? 16 would be even better. 17 would obviously be amazing, right? But if you're going to break 2 lines on a single excuse me, you're going to break the downtrend, like give me a good confirmation here. Ooh, I got the hiccups. I'm so sorry. But NVOS, I think that's everything actually. Again, start getting in that 12, 11, I'll be scared. Oh, for sure, it's game over under 11. Once this thing hits 10, I think it's going to be really hard to hope for good things. But I, for real, am hoping it never gets that low, all right? So that is NVOS. Okay, TTOO. And look, the first thing I'm going to start with was, hey, I got Friday really wrong. I was very much expecting this to come into the 30s, and I said I doubt it's going to get close to the 60s. Clearly, it's way closer to the 60s than the 30s, all right? So one thing I want to call out is a comment, all right? I deleted, look, I don't think that this is a bad comment, and I did not delete this thing because I think everything's a learning moment for real, all right? So clearly you can read it as I'm talking, but it basically says, hey, wish I never watched the video, sold TTOO too early and lost some money, okay? So look, 2 things, all right? Number 1, I even when this thing was going up, even from here up, I tried not to brag about me being right, okay? I really don't brag about being right for two reasons. Number one, it sounds way better when my viewers say I'm good than when I keep saying I'm good, all right? Like, no one wants to hear some dude just say I'm good. Like, that's horrible, right? Number two, look, if I keep saying, look how right I am, look how right I am, look how right I am, I sold up here, look how right I am, look how right, like, then you start to blindly believe me, and that's where things like this, look, I am literally just some dude on the internet giving thoughts and opinions. I never say buy or sell. All I do is give some numbers, all right? And hey, I think my answers were really sincere in all honesty. Like, I'm not mad at this comment, all right? Like, I really think more than anything, it's this right here. I think it's about reflecting on your decisions and learning from them. I'm really happy to be the one you blame, believe me. I think that's the equivalent of blaming manipulation or short attacks or whatever, right? Like, end of the day, also, if you sold early, you have that money to buy back in again, right? So just I wanted to talk about that again for two reasons. Number one, I am often wrong. Believe me, if I was perfect, I actually would be making these videos on some like island and shit. And like, I'd show you my face because I'm not worried about getting in trouble for my job, right? Like, yeah, believe me, like this is just thoughts and opinions that we're sharing with each other, all right? But I'm going to go over why I thought Friday was going to be a bad day, and it starts with Thursday, okay? Thursday ended a lot worse than I actually thought. You know what I mean? Like, I thought we would hit 45 on Thursday, but I thought it would be the low wick and then we would close back here. We lost 50% candle. We were starting to do a really scary downward volume. The Friday before was bad. We were doing the same downward volume. The Friday before that was bad. We were doing the same volume. I really expected this Friday to do it, right? Like, it just, those were my thoughts. We lost this green candle. We dropped a lot more than I expected on Thursday. And again, bad volume Friday, bad volume Friday, not too bad volume Friday, bad volume Friday, right? Like, it basically was more bad Fridays than goods, right? So to me, that's what my thought was. And hey, clearly it was a big 23% day. And honestly, listen, I see it, and I believe it kept going up after. Oh, it went down. I thought it went up after hours. Man, I can't tell how I feel about the stock. And in the Discord, we go into like real hardcore like depth to it. But the 15-minute chart on Friday was the craziest thing I'd seen. It looked like it wanted to run. It looked like it wouldn't. It looked like it wanted to run. It finally does. And like, I thought it would have done more as well. And like, it's like, I'm telling you, I think TTOO at this level right now really defines your personal risk tolerance. Okay. Because honestly, even though I see this 23% day, even though I still see the MACD up, even though I see the RSI trying to recover, and obviously I see a way better volume Friday than I expected, man, I'm telling you, I can't tell what this thing's gonna do on Monday. All right. And I really think it's way better to just wait for this 62. And look, the problem starts to become that this 200 moving average line is starting to get just a little lower and lower, making the juice from this 62 to what was this? No, that's still a decent number because we're adding 6, then we're adding another 6, and then we're adding another 4 behind that. No, that's still a pretty good. I look, I think it's worth skipping 56 to 62 and running 63 up. All right. I think that makes the most sense. Look, this 200 will be hard to break. All right. We literally have not even wicked it, let alone candled it since roughly right there, right? I'm not going to zoom in and get the exact one, but that 200 is no joke. Man, I'm telling you, like, look, so far, like a champ, we're using this 8 moving average, all right? Generally speaking, you kind of lose the 8. Like, I don't know if I'm just being like, I'm a cautious trader. I am. I have been burned too much. And for me, I think that there's a lot of value in being cautious, banking profits, being cautious, right? But yeah, clearly, if I kept my initial buy and never sold, oh yeah, I would have been making way more money. But that's not the trader I am, right? So again, I think TTOO really is bringing out the like risk tolerance awareness to each and of every one of us. You know what I mean? But for me, look, you can for sure call 59 a very real entry. You can even say 57. Just give me a penny higher than Friday, and it's really hard to believe we're not going to break that. It's really hard to believe we're not going to at least get to the border of 62. And again, going from 56 to 62 is actually a little bit more than a 10% swing, because we're going just under the 10, so that's obviously less than 20%, but we're definitely going more than 5 cents. 5 cents would have taken us to 61, right? So it is a little bit more than 10% just to here. And again, I actually often say it, breaking the gap fill isn't easy. All right, it actually isn't. You can argue that this one right here was hard. It gets to it, fails, gets to it, fails, finally does it. All right, I would say we've gotten to it, failed. We're hopefully going to get to it. I don't know if we're going to fail again or if we're actually going to break it. But in general, the gap fill line is hard to break. I've said that across a bunch of different videos, not just TTOO. But man, volume 50, like this, like you see when I make my lines, I'm like, hey, I like that the volume, like this is such a good, healthy, consistent climb of volume, even though we're making the silliest of silliest climbs up. You know what I mean? Like there's something to that. Like, oh man, like that white 50 is as textbook as a climb that's healthy can be. There's no crazy up and drop or anything like that. And like, you know, it's, and really what I'm seeing is way more big green than big red in this entire time frame from here to here. Again, what I'm like kind of doing this in my head, right? But these 2 days are bigger than these two. These two cancel out. Like there is more green easily to here. From there, look, this one gets canceled out by this, and this one gets canceled. Like more people have been buying. Obviously, the 50-day is going up, and it actually seems like more people are holding than selling. Like I am actually seeing more people want to keep this stock as more people are buying it. That's a deadly combination because again, volume is king. Okay, so man, where's the weekly at? Fuck. I try not to curse a lot, but there was nothing else I can say. Dude, this weekly is actually saying we're gonna come up to 129, maybe 109. Damn, because that breaks, that's doji, that's candle after doji, that's, dude, this is coming to 109, 111 at the lowest, I think, 110. Again, I say that and I can be very wrong, believe me, like that, there's no guarantee. The weekly, if you're patient, I think this thing's going to end really well on by Friday. I think there's a lot to like on this. Be careful here. Again, I think our risk tolerances are being shown. And one last time, it is where I want to end this. The gap fill borderline isn't an easy break. Where are you? Are you on? Yeah, 110. This thing wants to come to 1. I'll draw 110. I think that's our next lineup. That's a real fair target. I don't think we're dude, that's a 2x from where we're at right now, roughly, right? So damn, there's still a lot to like on TTOO. Hey, I appreciate your time. One more time. Dude, I am not mad that you put this. I covered your name just to like not like embarrass if it was, but yeah, I am not perfect. All right, just please remember that. All right, appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Thank you.